Has this ever happened to you?
Oh no, not again.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of spontaneous 3x3 combustion, you may be entitled to compensation.
Hey everyone, this is Phil. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble a 3x3 speed cube. Most 3x3 speed cubes are pretty similar, so after the basic assembly, we'll go over some specific tips and tricks for a variety of popular puzzles, so that no matter what puzzle you're trying to assemble, you have some ideas on how to put it together. So here we have a core and a bunch of pieces. The first step is to get an edge piece and stick it between two center pieces. And for some cubes, if you have the center cap off like so, you might have to pull on these center pieces. Pull up a little bit to get the edge piece in. Pulling up like this, especially gently, is not going to damage the cube. It's a good tip to know if you're ever trying to get these edges in. Right here is a cube with basically two edges in. I'm going to slide a corner piece into it, and then an edge piece on top. So what I've effectively done is build this little block of pieces, and all these pieces attach to each other, so it makes the cube extra stable while you're assembling. Next, I can slot in one edge like this, followed by a corner, and then an edge. Now we have a bigger block. I'm going to continue with the last few corner pieces and last few edge pieces. Now we have 2/3 of the cube. So at this point, the cube is a little harder to assemble because everything is together already. You might need to pull on this center piece a little bit to get the edge piece in. So you can do that. What I like to do is I like to hold it at a 45-degree angle, like this. So not like this, but like this. It makes putting the pieces in a lot easier. So then you can continue putting pieces in like so. Here, you always want to do edge piece last, so make sure your cube is at a 45-degree angle. Your edge piece goes in like this, and here you can actually pull on these sides to get the edge piece in, and your cube is assembled. So another way to assemble the last layer is actually leaving out one edge piece from the second layer. Here, it allows you to easily put pieces in by using this empty space as an opportunity to just slide pieces in really easily, and you can just keep rotating this and put your pieces in like so. And when you're on that last one, you can then put the piece in, and now you're here at the step. Because this last step is the most challenging and oftentimes makes people the most nervous, we're going to do it again. 45-degree angle, so the cube is actually not completely aligned like this. So 45-degree angle. Put the piece in and gently guide it so that it's as close as possible. Then you can pull while pushing the piece in like this. So now that we're done building our 3x3, here are some various tips and tricks that you can use to make your assembly experience better. Some of these tips and tricks relate to specific cubes that are popular. We chose those specifically to make sure we help as many people as possible. Tip 1 has to do with disassembling the cube. Sometimes you need to take it apart to lube it, or to check on something, or to clean your cube. So we're going to teach you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do here is turn one layer 45 degrees like this. Put your thumb underneath the piece and twist the piece and pull back like this. So the whole motion looks like this. The reason we do this twisting action is to detach these protrusions from the insides of the cube. These are designed to lock the piece into place so that you don't accidentally pop the cube. But when you take it apart, you need to take extra care to twist it so that it comes out gently without breaking anything. So it shouldn't really take that much force to take the piece out. If you feel like your cube is resisting you a lot and you can't really yank the piece out, don't get aggressive. You can loosen the cube and then have a much easier time pulling it out. So now we're going to do that same thing on this GAN cube. It's a different brand. Right here. And this Smart Cube is no different. 45 degrees, get under it, pull, like this. The next tip is related to the first tip, which also has to do with removing pieces from your cube. Never start with the corner. I see a lot of people try to disassemble the cube by pulling the corner first, and that usually leads to disappointment, i.e. nothing happening, or the corner piece breaking or something else breaking, and then people being really disappointed. By way of example, I'm going to try to yank the corner out and see what happens. This is just for science, okay? I'm going to grab the corner and just pull. I broke this. I actually broke this. Do you see this? I like deformed the corner piece. Don't do this at home. So this next tip has to do with disassembling and reassembling the screw and the centerpiece. So this is completely not necessary for most beginner speed cubers, but if you'd like to take your cube completely apart, this is how you do it. Step one, you take off the center cap. Most cubes have some grooves that you can use to put your nail under and you can pull it out. Step two is find a Phillips screwdriver and you just start unscrewing it, lefty-loosey. So once you've unscrewed it, you take the pieces out. So what we're left with is a centerpiece here, a screw, and a spring. Usually the spring goes on top of the screw, and then the screw goes inside the centerpiece like this, and this is where the cube gets its tension from, actually. Most screws have this point over here where it's not threaded. You can push it into the core. That way the screw is on straight. Once you know that it's on straight, you can screw it back in. And then regular assembly follows. The majority of cubes used to all be designed like this. It's a very simple screw spring structure. Cubes nowadays might have special features, and those special features might require certain other parts in the centerpiece. So now from here, we're gonna show you two popular center assembly structures, Moyu and GAN. All right, here's a Moyu RS3M 2020, one of the most popular cubes out, and I'm gonna show you what the center assembly looks like. So when you open it up, you'll notice that it has a transparent blue plastic here. That part helps it adjust the elasticity of the spring. It compresses the spring as you turn it. So I will take it apart and show you how to assemble it. Cool. All right, so this is the Moyu center assembly completely disassembled. It looks like we have 5 different parts. We have a centerpiece, this blue capsule, a washer, a screw, and a spring. So we know that the spring goes on top of the screw like this, and then the washer goes on the spring like this. This is to prevent the spring from grinding against any of the plastic parts. That creates noise, unnecessary friction, and it also damages the spring. So it's good to have this. And then this goes inside the washer like so. So this is what it looks like. And then afterwards, this entire thing goes onto the centerpiece, and it should fit very nicely. So this is the finished assembly. Once you're there, you can put it in like so, tighten it up like this. Now we're ready to go. This is essentially how all Moyu cubes are designed. This is what you can expect to see when you take apart your Moyu cube. So now we're gonna take apart the GAN cube. This is the GAN 12 maglev. So you'll notice after you take off the center cap that you have this blue structure. So how you take it apart is you press down on the blue structure with just your bare hand and you turn it until it comes out like that. So it should come out automatically because of the repelling magnets. This is the center stock of the cube. So basically everything will fit on top of this center stock. Step number 1 is to place the centerpiece on top of the stock like this. This disc here goes on top of this piece. And then these should repel each other. So this one goes first. You should just drop it right in. And this one goes on top like so. You might have to twist it and turn it a little bit to make sure it goes on. And then once you have it on, you can turn it like this. And that's basically the assembly structure like this. You can place a piece in like this, and we're ready to go. This is how you disassemble and assemble the center structure of the GAN 12 maglev. A lot of GAN models have this type of center assembly where you can use your hand to unlatch the cube and take apart the centerpiece structure. Basically, any GAN cube released after the GAN X has this style of center assembly where you can undo it by hand. And cubes older than that by GAN have a tool that you can use to unscrew the piece. Essentially, the tool acts like a screwdriver, but it's used specifically to unlatch GAN cubes. So YJ cubes are similar to Moyu cubes when it comes to their center assembly, and of course the Tornado V2 does not have any sort of screw that you can loosen and disassemble, so definitely don't try to take that apart because it's really frustrating to assemble. The Tornado V3 of course has a screw that you can unscrew, but don't touch that, otherwise Chi will make an Instagram post about how dumb you are.